and then preventing Hajjaj from harming them in Medina, and actually stopped Hajjaj from entering in Medina, and took these people in. He didn't set up refugee camps, okay? He placed it on the citizens of Medina to take in those people that were being harmed by Hajjaj in other Muslim lands. So it wasn't like a Muslim, non-Muslim thing. And when we talk about the Prophet ﷺ and his companions fleeing to Medina as refugees and being taken in by the Ansar, that's not just a specific situation here, right? What Allah mentions to us about those people as they took them in is an example for all of us, not just to be invoked in fundraisers. Okay, there's something more to it than that. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah was someone who was well known for taking care of people that fled persecution, for granting asylum to all of those that sought it, and for opening his doors. And what happened to the nation of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz? It was the richest Muslim nation, the most stable Muslim nation that we've ever seen in our history. Truly. I mean, the things that happened in the time of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz in terms of stability in the ummah, in terms of the social welfare in the ummah, in terms of, he dismantled any type of, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz stopped any type of outside warfare, right? He just wanted to manage the affairs of the ummah, righting the wrongs of government corruption, getting to a point where zakah, they couldn't find anyone to collect zakah anymore because he was solving all of the problems at a policy level. All of the justice that Umar ibn Abdul Aziz brought to the ummah in his short time led to a situation of safety and led to a situation where there was blessing in the wealth at the time of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah ta'ala. So those two things are tied. Justice and blessing in the wealth of a nation are tied together. Safety and how the poor are treated are all interconnected in the Islamic connection. Now we already mentioned that Allah likens a person being forced out of his home to a person being killed, okay? That it's almost like a person no longer lives if they're being forced out of their home. Therefore, it's more than just offering them a house, but there are also emotional needs and all types of special needs that are to be afforded to those that are in that situation. So in Surah Al-Hashr, verse 9, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the Ansar, literally the supporters, those in Medina who took in the migrants, who took in the muhajirin, those who came from Medina. How does Allah describe them? يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ. They love those that have migrated to them. This is something that cannot be taught except through faith. Let me give you an example, and it's a very sad example, by the way. What ends up happening in almost any, even Muslim land, let's just take a Muslim land with Muslim refugees, just to specifically attach it to this idea here. Initially, there's a call to humanity, there's a call to take people in. Once refugees come in and people start to feel the pinch on their society, what happens? They develop a resentment towards the refugees themselves. And it happens everywhere. Okay? There is a resentment that's developed towards those refugees. Why? Because these refugees come into a country, and initially it's like everyone go out and give them charity and take some food to them and spend your weekends and spend a part of your wealth, and there are national calls to take care of people. Then as the situation goes on, refugees need to find work. They're undocumented. Okay, so they'll take jobs at lower rates. Think about immigrants or refugees. They'll take jobs for pennies just to be able to eat and drink to anyone that's willing to employ them. Right? And then when someone else who's a national, a citizen of that country is not getting a job anymore, is feeling poor, who do they start to turn their blame and their resentment towards? These people that came into our country. So it's not like we're one anymore. The whole universal brotherhood out the window, the whole even ummah bond out the window. It's these people took our jobs. And they are draining, those people are draining our nation. So resentment is directed, and that's why I said the entire refugee crisis has to be spoken about, with a broader discussion about just political and social constructs as they exist today. It's heartbreaking. And you want to, you start, it's disgusting to a person who's not living in that country when you go there and you actually see that, but it happens.